Hello, welcome to Miniature Realms. My name's Stuart. Today has been a good post day. I've just opened a box from Warlord Games with lots of new frames from the new version of Konflikt 47. So let's take a look.
Miniature Realms is proudly sponsored by Counter-Attack Bases. They stock a wide range of counters, gaming aids and movement trays for multiple game systems and offer custom items to suit your club or even your podcast or YouTube channel. Check out the link in the video description.
So the new Konflikt 47 starter set has just gone up for pre-order on Warlord Games' website, and we've known this is coming for a while. A bit of a revamp of the game, lots more plastic. It's been shown at many shows as well. I saw the big display table at UK Games Expo. Looks fantastic, and I've been really lucky that they have sent me some advanced copies to have a look at of the new plastic frames. And what you can see here is pre-production plastic frames. What that means is these are the first print runs, I believe, before they test them, and there is one little error which will be corrected before they go on sale, and I'll point that out to you in a moment. But we've essentially got one of each of the main bits in that starter set. So that's the Stahltruppen, the Vogelspin Light Panzer Mech, the Firefly Airborne Infantry, and the Linebacker Walker. So it's pretty much the starter set minus the rulebook and the resin characters, and I've only got one frame of each of the troop types. But that does mean I can give you a really good idea of everything that's in that starter box, aside from those little extras mentioned and the terrain. A little note I was given here about the little sinkhole, which is on one little section there on the frame. That's an error. I don't know why that happens, but that won't be on the production frames that people actually purchase. So it's very cool to get these this early, and this is the linebacker. So we're having a little look at the frames of the linebacker. It's really well laid out. Everything is numbered in the way you'd expect from mainly, best example probably is a Games Workshop frame from about sort of 5-10 years ago. It's more like that style. And it's really easy to find. Almost a nice era of building, because some of the Games Workshop stuff these days can be a little bit complicated. The heads are fantastic throughout this. Really enjoy the faces at the moment, and I've seen that with a lot of the newer bolt action stuff as well. I'm a real big fan of the character in the faces. But it's all super clean and crisp, and nothing really else to say about it. It's, as you'd expect, nicely laid out on the frame. I didn't find it was hard to find parts. The numbers seem to be placed together rather than searching all over the place for them. So it's a little bit more uniform than some other companies. They're on grids rather than sort of the strange shapes. The infantry, very much like the later bolt action infantry in style as well. So these Fireflies are great. I'm sure the bits will be interchangeable with bolt action miniatures, so I'll definitely be keeping spare heads and things to use in bolt action projects as well, again, because I just think these faces are really, really good. Maybe my favourite bits out of all these frames. So this is the Vogelspin, excuse my pronunciation. This is probably my favourite miniature out of the lot that I've been sent. Just like the way it looks afterwards. It's obviously very German, but also quite menacing and dark as well, which is very cool for the comic book style characters that we have in this setting. Again, really nicely laid out, really easy to sort of find all the parts when you're building, and I have built them all, and I'll sort of talk a little bit more about that in a moment. And then you have the sort of the heavy troops, the Stahltruppen. Again, this is really well laid out. You can build 3 from this, but you do have more legs than you need, so you've got extra poses, but all great. Now, I asked for instructions because you need it for the mechs at least, and Dan very kindly sent me what they had at the moment, which looked to be these really, really good full colour instruction booklets. Super easy to follow. They were really, really helpful. I'm not sure I could have built them without. Nothing is yet for the infantry, and I'm not sure whether they present them in quite the same way. I don't think it's needed. I was able to work it out just the same way as you can from looking at a bolt action sprue and just working out the way things go. What I've done building these things is built them a bit like the pictures. I haven't read the rules, so I don't know the sort of the weapons combinations that you're actually allowed. So at least for the mechs, I've built one of the set combinations that's laid out, shows you lots of different build types in those instructions. And again, the plastic's excellent quality, the stuff you're used to if you've played Bolt Action before. If you've never played a Warlord Games game at all and used their miniatures, and you're interested in this because it's a bit different, but you have played Games Workshop games and had their miniatures, it is really reminiscent of, as I said earlier, sort of 5, 10, maybe 15 years ago, the miniatures at that time. So modern day Games Workshop miniatures have got very, very intricate and really a bit weird way they go together. Some benefits, lack of mould lines and things. There is a little bit more traditional mould line clear up here, but they're still very, very good and easy to do. But they're quite simple kits, and I think they come together really nicely. I've left that so that I can paint inside the cockpit. Again, instructions for the Vogel spin as well. It is needed. I don't think you can work it out without, but it's the same with many of their tank kits. But I was really impressed with the instructions. Sometimes there's multiple angles of the same thing, so you can see how something fits on really well, and then you've got the colour elements in there as well. So really good stuff, really easy to use. And I didn't have any problems at any point building any of these kits. So no head scratching moments where I couldn't find a number. Like I said, they're generally placed together, the numbers. So when you move on to the next number, it's the next thing on the frame where possible. Less swapping between frames as you could do with sometimes with miniatures where you're looking for one part's on one frame and another part's all the way on another frame. Much less of that. They're usually placed next to each other in groups and things as well. So it was a nice, enjoyable building experience. It wasn't a frustrating one at all, and it's again what you'd expect from modern day Warlord Games plastic miniatures, I think. So no problems at all. Enjoyed building these throughout. So as already mentioned, there's no instructions for either sets of troops, and it wasn't an issue at all. You can work it out just by looking at the website pictures and the parts that are on the frame. So the frame makes 3 of these heavy infantry. You get 6 lots of legs, only 3 bodies though. You could nearly build, if they could have squeezed on 3 more bodies somewhere, they maybe could have done it all in one frame. You might have had a little bit less posability options, I suppose. So I'm guessing when you buy a set of these, you're going to get 3 frames of those in a box, which seems to be standard for a lot of their boxes these days. So you will have lots of spare parts to use, but I don't know how useful they will be with just legs and things, but I'm sure for kit bashers around, they'll really enjoy all the extra parts on these sprues. And when you come onto the Fireflies, it's the same thing. So for a frame here, you can make 6. And I'm assuming that you'll get enough to do more than that in the box again as well. And if I'm adding more to this at a later date, it'd be interesting to see what multiples of you can make for your units. As I said, I've not read the rules. I'm not sure whether they're out with reviewers yet or not. Quite often my rules reviewer packages come from Osprey directly, and I'm assuming Osprey are publishing this as well. But again, these went together just like a modern day bolt action miniature, no problems at all. And I got them all built really, really quickly. So in total, I probably built all of this in 3 hours, which is not that bad from some other manufacturers. I may have not managed that many miniatures in that time now because of the sort of the modern style of the design. The only criticism I had of the bigger Walker is that his leg poses are quite limited. Building it again now, I would sort of cut things and give him a little bit of a walking stance because he lacks a bit of movement, looks a bit janky there. But everything else is fine, and I guess Warlord are new at designing that kind of miniature, so he kind of is designed to stand with his feet together, and I think something a little bit more dynamic would look better. But you can definitely do it. You just probably have to ignore a couple of little instructions and repose. You can definitely repose the toes and things, but the rest of the infantry as posable as you can imagine. Same with the Walker thing here. I could have definitely had him crawling over a rock or something like that. So it's doable with all of them. I just think with the bigger Walker, you're guided towards doing it in a certain way based on the instructions. Only afterwards I kind of regretted it and thought, actually, with a little adjustment here, I could have maybe had one leg a bit further back and given him a little bit more movement. But again, the rest of it's great. The faces again for the crew are brilliant, and I think they're a really cool set of miniatures. Really interested to hear what you existing players of Konflikt 47 think of this new direction and the new release and the more plastics. Way back many years ago, I saw the birth of Konflikt 47 while playing War Machine with my friends Russ and Chris, and they set up Clockwork Goblin, and I saw the original sort of 3D renders and then the original prints when they were 15mm miniatures to be added onto, I think at that time, Battlefront miniatures. And it was very, very cool to see it sort of grow over time and then become an add-on to Bolt Action, which is sort of semi-licensed, and then see them fully selling the game over to Warlord now and letting them progress. And those guys have gone on to do cool things as well. Russ obviously works for Steamforge now as an independent sculptor for many years on things like War Machine and many other game systems as well. So it's nice to see my friends sort of start their journeys in the wargaming industry and look where the game is now. I didn't think I'd be doing a YouTube channel now and reviewing products that they haven't designed, but definitely had their origins with them many, many years ago. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you found that interesting. Maybe it's turned your eye towards the game. I definitely haven't played it at all, as I probably already said throughout the video, and I've seen the miniatures before. I always thought they're quite cool, and I'm looking at this kind of relaunch of the game and wondering what the quality of the plastic miniatures are going to be like. That would be really key to me, whether I really get into the game or not. These definitely seem to be living up to that, so hopefully it will help you make your mind up, maybe look to give the game a try. Maybe it's help you make your mind up the other way, but either way, I think they're pretty good at looking plastic miniatures from Warlord Games. You'll all have your own opinions on them, and please pop them in the comments below. I'd love to know what everyone's thinking about this game and these new miniatures as well. How much more I cover this on the channel, I don't know, but I will be covering it more for sure. But I think to start with, I'll be focusing on what the channel does best, which is probably painting and hobby content. We've recently sent these from AK, the new quick gen paints, but the World War II military ones, which is something that's never quite worked from all the other brands. They've not had the color ranges that do the military side of things. So they'll be perfect to paint some of the Americans in this. I was looking for a subject for them, so I will be using some of these. I've got other ranges as well. I've got Germans, I've got DAC, I've got British, etc. So maybe I'll use those on some of the other parts of this range. I probably won't be using them on the armour. So maybe a lot of this set that I've got here I will paint in a more traditional way. But I'll definitely do 2 or 3 different painting tutorials over the next few weeks for the stuff that Warlord have kindly sent me. So do look out for that. There'll be things you can transfer if you don't play the game, especially when it comes to painting armor. There'll be things that you can use if you're painting Heresy, if you're painting 40k, World War II, anything like that really. So there'll still be useful videos hopefully anyway. But I'm looking forward to kind of delving further into this box now. I've shown you the frames and showed you the built miniatures and things. I'm going to have fun painting them up. And if you're still here and you have enjoyed the video, please do drop that comment below, give it a like. It really helps the video being seen by other people, helps the algorithm send it to other people and put it on the home screens, which is a bit of a challenge, the way that it's changed over the last few months, 6 months or so. On the new algorithm on YouTube, you just don't always see things you'd expect to, regardless of whether you are subscribed to channels or not. So all those comments and likes and things and subscriptions are always good. Really help the video being shown to other people. It's as simple as that really. So if you're this far and you've enjoyed it, please do that for me. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to help me more directly, please do check out my Patreon. It's really the best way of keeping the lights on for Miniature Realms and able to continue to make a wide range of videos and cover more and more games and topics. It's been able to afford to do it, because if I do everything in my free time, I just don't have the time to do it. So Patreon helps me, turning it a little bit into part of my work with Miniature Realms and the painting I do with Miniature Realms in a wider sense. And I really appreciate the support. But if you can't, don't worry, just do all the like stuff and the comment stuff, and I really appreciate that as well. Do check out the channel sponsor, Counterattack Bases, and all the other affiliate links that are in that video description, including one to Warlord Games, so they know that you've come by me. I don't get paid anything from that affiliate link. It's just one so they know that you've come via me, you've seen the video on it, and you've got an order afterwards. So thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you soon.